If you are really good at something, then you can actually make someone to pay for you in the next few days. But the premise is that you can let others to know that you are actually really good at it. That's why you need to master the skill of writing, because you need to be very convincing and articulate. And you also need to know how to attract a lot of attentions. So when you are writing on social media, you can let a lot of people finish to the end, and you can let them understand your point, be convinced by you, and be willing to pay for your product or service. So why do you want to choose writing over making videos? Well, it's because writing is very suitable for beginners. You don't want to just jump into something that has a lot of complications. Like if you want to make videos at the beginning, then you would need to edit the video. You still need to write a script, and it just takes so much time. But if you start by writing, then you can just type in your phone and edit it for a little bit, and then you just send it. It's really convenient and it doesn't take too much time. You can do it in your spare time, and you can replace the time that you scroll aimlessly on social media. So about the content, you want to write about the most basic problem that the beginners face. This is because you need to write for a large audience, so you don't want to be too specialized in whatever that you are talking about. If you post a content that only a few people can understand it, then the chances are your content will just have very low views. So after you locate some of the most common problem, then you would need to state it out in the title and the opening. And you don't want to leave it to the end. You don't want to let the readers guess. If you don't make it very clear, then people would be very doubtful of whether or not this article is worth reading. And people who are scrolling on social media tend to have very short attention span, so you don't want to waste their patience. Then you need to work on your articulation skill. And this really isn't that complicated. You just need to remove all the difficult words and take the long sentence into two sentences and space out as much as you can. Basically, what you are trying to do is to lower the barrier of reading. You can pretend like you are writing to a children. You don't want to use any advanced word that they don't understand. So if a children can understand your article, then chances are most adults wouldn't want to read it. So the last thing is that you need to make your article very convincing. You need to stress why the problem that you are talking about is important. You can focus on explaining what will happen if you don't solve the problem and what are the benefits that you can get after solving this problem. So you can mention something like how much money you get and how much time you are going to save, or what kind of impact does it have on your life after you solve these problems. You can use your own story to explain this because it will help you become more authentic. You can say you have faced this problem before and how much you were troubled by it and how you solved this problem in the end. After telling a story about yourself, it will be a lot easier for readers to remember and have a basic impression of you. So lastly, you need to provide your service or product. You need to tell people what you're offering and how to buy it. There are tons of videos that was talking about it, so I wouldn't go into details in these videos. And this is relatively simple. The most difficult part is knowing how to write. And if you can write articles that are very convincing, then the rest of the problem will be very simple.